All right, so welcome back. Today we are going over the Honda safety ratings. The 2023 Honda CR-V was chosen as a top safety pick plus. That is the highest rating that the IIHS gives out for any vehicle. Overall, it's done an astonishing job of getting top scores all throughout most every category. Let me show you the little key we have here. So we have good, acceptable, marginal, and poor. And then for the lines, we have superior, advanced, and basic. And the 23 CRV has done a really good job again of maxing out most every category except two little ones. So crashworthiness, overall, good. Crash avoidance and mitigation, we got superior with the front crash prevention. And nighttime, we just got advanced with the vehicle to pedestrian crash prevention. Let's see. Seatbelt reminder is good. Go down. So small overlap front driver side test. All these tests you can find like videos on YouTube. Just go to the IIHS channel. You'll see the different directions that they're hitting these cars from and what these tests actually entail. But they basically ram it with another heavier vehicle or a post, or drive the vehicle into a post, and they'll have the crash test dummies in there and see what kind of damage is done. So again, just overall top marks across the board. Every injury measure, head, neck, chest, hip, lower leg weight, top scores. And they are using the 23 CRV EXL 4-door, but again, not much structural integrity change between this and the sport touring model that I currently drive. Main difference just being there's a battery instead of a tire in the back. All right, so small overlap front passenger side test. Again, top scores across the board. Really remarkable job that Honda's done making sure that this is an extremely safe vehicle. A lot of other vehicles that I've gone through this website for have scattered colors throughout with acceptable and marginal scores, but this one has done a really good job of grabbing the green in almost every category. And then here we have the moderate overlap front test. Again, top scores across the board, structure and safety cage, driver injury measures, driver restraints, and dummy kinetics, all good top scores. And then here we have the side updated test. This was the only one that had two scores that were lower than the top score, and those are just one level below at the acceptable range for torso and pelvis. And this is basically when they drive, like a weighted car or truck directly into the side of the vehicle, T-bone it, and good scores for the passenger, just a little down on the driver's side for this one. Front crash prevention, superior evaluation, applies to all the models. It has a really good collision mitigation braking system. This has personally saved me a few times already. It'll flash that orange warning sign and make a sound to brake when you're getting too close to someone too fast. The computer will do its little calculation and determine you're not braking hard enough for the speed that you're going based on how far the vehicle ahead of you is. So then it'll start flashing and tell you to brake harder. And it's good when you're, not fully paying attention as you should be, because it'll give you the extra notice to go ahead and brake a little bit harder to save yourself from crashing. And then, again, we got advanced, and for the front crash prevention, let's see, vehicle to pedestrian at night. And this was a little bit part to the high beam assist credit. The high beams do automatically go on whenever they are needed and there's no other vehicles around. So that's nice when you're driving. You don't have to flip it on and off. The one thing I would say is that the headlights on the car could be a little brighter. When I do drive after like a heavy rain, the roads aren't really reflective anymore. They've soaked in water. The LED reflector bulbs themselves, they're not too bright. I wish they were just standard LED bulbs, because I feel like I do have some trouble seeing. It might be partly due to my tinted windows, but I have asked my dealer if they can put in some brighter bulbs for me. It's great when the high beam's on, but I do see other cars driving nearby that do have brighter lights that have a little bit better visibility. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. But again, good overall rating still. And then let's see, last category was seatbelt reminders. They will beep for every single chair in the car, all 5 seats. A little buzzer will go off telling you who's not wearing a seatbelt, and it will keep beeping until somebody wears that seatbelt. Next, we'll compare the 2022 model. So last year's model just got a top safety pick award, did not get the top safety pick plus. As you can see, there were some categories where it did not do as well. We got a poor score here, an acceptable marginal score here, poor for seatbelt reminders, latch use, and good overall safety for the small overlap test. Again, still really good overall crash test here, but it did get dinged in a few categories and the electronics. And this was done on the 2017 Honda, as you can see right here. 2017 to 2022 was the 5th generation of this car, and 2023 and onward is the new 6th gen. Here are those videos that I was talking about earlier, so we can see the different tests and how they will go ahead and score based on the injuries to the dummies. If you're curious, you can find the YouTube videos and see how it's done. I've tried to find it for the 2023 exactly, but they have not. They finally just got these IIHS safety ratings out for the 23 model after a few months. And as to my knowledge, there's no other videos on YouTube about it. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, moderate overlap front test. I guess the overall got poor, probably because poor passenger over here in the back. Let's see. And then, yeah, here are those overlap test crashes. Here's the passenger getting beat up a little bit. But, yeah, overall scattered scores. So I'm glad that they really changed things up for the 23 model and vastly improved the scores to being pretty much the highest rated crash test on any compact to mid-size SUV out there currently. That is the highest award that you can get. All right, so now we'll go over, talk about the Honda website that I use for some of my parts. I use the College Hills Honda website. I'll put a link in the bio. I'm not sponsored by them. Feel free to use whoever you want for your parts. I just like their website because they have lots of pictures and discounts, and you can still use it as a general browsing page and copy this part number and search online if you want to buy it from somewhere else that might be a few bucks less. But as you can see, they have pretty good discounts on most of their parts. I did buy my floor mounts from here. They were $144. I think my dealer wanted like $200 plus $200 more for installation, which is kind of ridiculous because all you do is like toss them on the floor and clip in the buttons on the driver's side. It takes 2 seconds. And then I bought my cargo tray from here, or let's see, the hybrid model. Where is it? Over here. And then the seat back protectors as well. One nice thing about this website that the other Honda's websites don't always have is that it comes with installation manuals. So you'll see installation instructions PDF. Go ahead, open that up. It's going to have, let me zoom in on this, full instructions for whatever part you're trying to install. These are the same instructions that the dealers get. So if you have some time and want to do it yourself and a little know-how, by all means, they have full set of instructions. You can see these instructions are actually pretty intense, which is why I decided to just spray my Honda emblem black instead of taking apart the entire back door just to replace the H. But for like the roof rails, it would take like 10 minutes, super easy. So for that, do it yourself. But I didn't think it was worth it to try and spend my time installing a black H. Spraying it took much less time. Let's see what else. Yeah, so here are those crossbars. I got them for about $180 from Sun's Honda, but again, Sun's Honda did not have any pictures. I didn't even know what I was looking at. I just searched this exact part number, found it on their website, shipped it over. here are the installation instructions. Easy. There's like 4 parts. Just take off the screw caps, stick it in, done. Much easier than that other instruction manual we just went over. Alright, so that is where I get my parts. Lastly, a lot of you guys have been asking about these air vent caps. I got them from the CKE store. They mainly have parts for Civics, but as we know, the Civic interior is the same as the CRV interior. They have blue, red. I'll leave a link in the bio for that, as well as the 3M vinyl that I used to black out the chrome window trim, and the HyperDip Shadow Black that I used to spray all my Honda emblems. Everything's going to be in the link in the bio. Alright, so next we're going to transition into a little 4,500 mile update to give you guys a look on what's been happening with the car. Alright, so we have another update video today. Currently at around 4,500 miles on the CRV 2023 Sport Touring in Meteorite Metallic Gray. I have finished all my chrome deletion. So as you can see up in the front, we've got those 2 front ports completely blacked out. That was done with the HyperDip spray on vinyl. And I can leave a link for that in the description. Pretty easy to do. Comes out very clean, very nice. And then I also finished the chrome deletion on the windows on this side. So for these two, I used a 2-inch by 25-foot roll of vinyl for like $30 on Amazon, and that was enough for all the window trims. But this back window here, this one I had to order a 2-foot by 5-foot sheet, which was, I want to say, like $50, and that was enough to do both sides. Basically just covers the whole window, and then I just cut it out on the edges. You have to be very precise and I use the scalpel blade, but if you have an X-Acto knife, same thing. I basically just started out by layering it. One side is flat, and then you just lay it exactly on the edge. As you go along, you push down, then you can fold it over, run a razor blade across the bottom, tuck it in. Pretty simple. If you have a little bit of hand skills, it's pretty easy to do yourself. Don't have to pay someone a couple $100s to do it. And then I redid the Honda logo on the back. Let's see, the first time I did that, I accidentally pulled a little bit too much of the paint off on the bottom, but now it's very nice. Yeah, and this one was with the spray on vinyl, the HyperDip. And alright, so I'll do just a quick walk around. Let me know what you guys think of the chrome deletion. If I should bring it back. It is pretty easy to peel off if I wanted to. It's just like a rubber coating. There we go. I got the roof rails attached. I have found that those don't really affect my mileage. Mileage has kind of been all over the place. Recently, it was raining. I drove an hour on the freeway, about 45, 50 miles an hour, a little slower. The entire time, it was hitting 40 miles per gallon. After that first hour, the next few days, anywhere I drove, it was just consistently hitting 40 miles per gallon, road, freeway, whatever, and I ended up getting around 500 miles on the tank before having to fill up. I don't know if that is the optimal engine break-in speed, driving an hour or so at 45, 50 miles an hour, but fuel efficiency went up like crazy because it was hitting around like 33, 34 before I did that. So I don't know, maybe that's the best way to break in the engine on this thing. Currently, after my most recent fill up, it's getting like 37 miles per gallon, but I've only driven it a few miles. So it's doing a lot better recently. I don't really use the heater in California, so I know that tends to turn off the EV mode and goes into gas. So if you're in a colder area, you're probably using a little bit more gas. But yeah, currently around 4,500 miles. And the average over all those miles is 36.2 miles per gallon. I'm trying to get that up. I need it to be at least 38 to be happy. but 40 is a nice number to see, knowing you can go pretty long distance only using 1 gallon of gas. So I did remove the bed. It comes in and out pretty simply enough, but did have to take some people somewhere, so can't keep a bed in the car 24/7. What do you guys think about full complete blackout? Should I add these little Honda wheel logos to the chrome delete? And we have the radar up front. If anyone has any schematics on this thing, I'd like to find out if I couldn't black it out. I'm pretty sure the radar is sitting right here in the middle. So if I can find a way to get this clear coat off, I should be able to black out the H and not have it affect the guidance system. But if anyone knows where to pull up some schematics for that, I'd like to take a look and see if it's possible. But yeah, I think some very nice changes with the chrome delete. Still not fully sure if I'm going to keep it or not, but I think it looks pretty nice. Makes the front of the car look a lot more rugged. What do you guys think? A few other mods I was considering. I have been seeing some body kits popping up on the market that would extend the front a little bit. What do you guys think about adding one of those? I was also thinking about getting the Honda HPD emblems to go on both of the sides on the back. And then finally, I was also thinking about adding some window louvers, not sure how to say it, but to these back windows here. Those have also been popping up on the market. I think it'd be a nice touch with the HPD emblem, or maybe you guys think that's a little too much to keep it classy and simple. Let me know. And thank you guys for watching my most recent update video on the Honda CR-V and the crash test overview. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I read every single comment and try to respond to all of them as well. All of you guys supporting me are basically why I just keep making more videos, so I really appreciate it, and thank you for all the kind words that you guys have been leaving on the videos. It means a lot to me. I'll try to keep this series going. Thank you. Bye.